Hello everybody, it's Bree. Welcome back to my channel. I am back with my reaction videos. I actually asked you guys on Instagram if you guys wanted me to bring back reaction videos, and a large amount of you guys wanted me to bring back reactions. I was just trying to decide if I wanted to just stick with vlogs or go back to doing reactions, but a lot of you guys wanted both. I even got DMs about how people wanted me to just do both. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do both reactions and vlogs and just see where it goes from there. So this video is called why you feel sad all the time. I thought this was interesting, an interesting topic because with 2020 that just passed, everybody has just been really suffering, especially with mental health. And a lot of people have been dealing with depression and feeling sad and not really knowing why or how to deal with it. So hopefully this video can break it down for us. So let's watch.
Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to another video. Before we start, we'd like to thank you for all the support you've given us. Psych2Go's mission is to make psychology and mental health more accessible to everyone.
I really like channels like this.
Turn
it up some.
Now, back to the video.
Okay.
Have you ever felt sad, but didn't quite know why? Feeling sad from time to time is only a natural part of being human. A sadness is one of the many complex emotions we experience.
It is.
Even though you may not be able to explain it, sometimes it's enough to just let yourself feel what you feel without any judgment and wait for it to pass.
Yep.
As all other emotions do. But if this sadness starts to seem never-ending, and you started to experience more days feeling gloomy than anything else, then it may not just be an emotional reaction to an event or experience. It might point to something else. Well, Psych2Go is here to help you by listing out the 5 most likely reasons why you may be feeling sad all the time. Number 1. You struggle with misattunement. Misattunement is defined as the experience of not being seen, heard, or understood by those around you. It's often that you first experience this during early childhood, when your parents either fail to satisfy your personal needs, be it physical.
Yeah, when I was younger, I dealt with that a lot. I dealt with, not really feeling heard, not really feeling seen. And I definitely think that caused a big portion of like why I was so depressed for so long. So I definitely could see that.
Or emotional, or misinterpret them. But the more you experience misattunement, the more you may believe that you can't trust the people around you to be there for you when you need them. This may end up hindering your social skills, making you emotionally unavailable, afraid of commitment, or to develop a tendency of ignoring your personal needs. Number 2, you have a lot of self-loathing. Have you had a hard life growing up? If you face tragedies like loss, heartbreak, abandonment, or abuse, then it may have become difficult for you to think of yourself as someone who could be happy. You may be more likely than others to listen and find comfort in your own negativity. The struggle with self-loathing may be why.
A lot of times it's actually easier to be negative than positive. A lot of people have to kind of like force themselves to speak positivity into their lives, because it is easy to just fall into being negative and saying negative things, especially about yourself. And so it's easy to get caught up in that cycle. And so you want to catch it, and you want to make sure that you don't feed into those negative thoughts that might be clouding your mind.
All the time, since you can't move past this constant negative cycle of thinking. Number 3, you're afraid to be happy. Do you keep yourself from being happy in fear that you'll get hurt in the end? The feeling of being sad all the time may actually stem from being afraid to be happy. You may be feeling uncomfortable letting yourself be too happy, since you may think it won't last forever.
That's interesting.
However, while it's natural to be skeptical, guarded, and self-critical, being too cautious about opening up to people or allowing yourself the opportunity to be happy may ultimately explain the sadness you feel.
Okay, so I wouldn't say I'm scared to be happy. I mean, if anything, I invite happiness into my life. Like, I want to be happy. But what she said about being afraid to let people in, that I can relate to. Definitely, that's something that I've definitely struggled with ever since I started college at Mason. I've had that issue of letting people in and trusting people again because, people that were, once really important to me and I was close to, things that I went through with them kind of affected me, in a very heavy way. And it affected how I view, the world and people. And so, that's kind of caused me to be kind of like careful about who I let in and who I open up to.
Number 4, you're afraid to be vulnerable. Are you afraid of intimacy? Do you worry about getting hurt, rejected, or left behind by the people you love? Like many others, you may have grown accustomed to being defensive when it comes to relationships. So much so that it's become difficult to let your guard down for too long. You may be so afraid to be vulnerable in front of others that you pull away from your closest relationships and shut yourself off from the world.
Now, I don't push people away, just because I always want like people and like friends around me. But, what did she say? She said that, something about getting defensive and, dang it, what did she say?
Defensive when it comes to relationships. So much.
Oh, being vulnerable. She said that, you might be afraid to be vulnerable and stuff like that, and you become kind of defensive and guarded, which is very true. Again, growing up, I was very like open with everybody. I was an open book, and I was very vulnerable. Like, I didn't mind sharing things with people, even if I didn't know them that well. I didn't mind sharing like personal things about me and about things that I went through. Like, I had no issues opening up to people. And as naive as this sounds, I grew up trusting everybody. I thought everybody was my friend. I thought that everybody had, even if people showed maybe like bad or negative traits about them, I still was like, I always tried to see the good in people. And I really thought that everybody at the core, was good people. And so that, so I thought that I could like trust everybody and tell people everything. And then I kind of learned the hard way that that's just not how the world is. Everybody is not like that. And so I've definitely been way more careful with what I share with people. So I can totally relate to this as well.
However, this tendency of being afraid to be vulnerable may be preventing you from being happy. Number 5, you're in denial of your emotions.
I don't have this issue.
Is there a certain grief or trauma you haven't processed yet? The reason you may be feeling sad all the time may be because you're in denial of your own struggles and are trying to bottle up your emotions. Whether it's regret, frustration, anger, disappointment, or loss that you're dealing with. Being honest with yourself about it may help stop you from being stuck in self-destructive, emotionally repressive patterns of behavior and lead to some peace of mind. Do you relate to any of the signs we've mentioned?
So that last one, I can honestly say I don't really relate to that one at all. I'm very emotional, and I am very honest and transparent about that. I'm super emotional. I fully embrace every emotion. Like, every emotion, whether it's sadness, anger, happiness, excitement, frustration, depression, whatever it is, I've always fully accepted all of my emotions. And I'm also very expressive. I have a hard time like keeping things bottled up. Like, I like to say it. I like to express myself. As you guys have seen, even on my YouTube channel, sometimes if I'm going through it, I'll make a video so I can like talk through it. But yeah, I've always, embraced my emotions. But the problem with that though is with me being an empath and with me being so in tune with my emotions, I tend to attract people that are not like, they're not in tune with their emotions. They don't really have very high emotional intelligence. They just don't deal with any like negative emotions. They kind of just stray away from it. They don't confront it at all. And that's been like a big like I have big I end up having big conflicts with people because I want people to be as open as I am and as real with their emotions as I am. And so it's hard when I'm, you know, trying to talk to people and like, or maybe I can see that they're upset and they're going through it. Instead of just saying, hey, I'm having a bad day, they pretend like everything is fine. And, you know, I even had one case with a friend before where she felt like something that I was doing was like really, it was really bothering her, but she would never say it. She would never tell me that the stuff that I was doing was bothering her until we got into an argument about something that she was doing to me. Because I don't have a problem telling people when they're doing something that's bothering me, or if they did something or said something that hurt my feelings. I'm very open with people about how they make me feel. And so I remember me telling her, hey, like, you did this and it hurt my feelings. And she kind of got defensive and was like, you know, oh, like, I would never bring up stuff that you do to me that bothers me. And it's like, but you should bring those things up. So whatever it is that I'm doing that's bothering you, I can stop if you tell me to stop. Like, people have to learn how to, you know, communicate, and people have to understand that just because you experience some level of sadness or anger or frustration, it's just as normal. Those emotions are just as normal as being happy. Like, even though they're viewed as negative emotions, they're still emotions, and all emotions deserve, you know, like, it's okay to feel something else other than happiness. And I think we need to stop getting out of this mindset, especially with social media makes you feel like, you know, you're just supposed to be happy go lucky all the time, everything's fine, you know, and, you know, love yourself, and, you know, but you're not always going to have a good day. You're not always going to, you know, have everything happen for you, and some days you're going to go through it. And I think it's important that you embrace that and you do what you can to kind of get through that, instead of pushing it away and acting like those emotions don't exist. But yeah, this was a cool little video. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a link to any videos you guys want me to watch. I'm not gonna promise that I'm going to watch it. If it's something that's interesting to me, then I'll go ahead and watch it. As long as there's no like music reactions, I'm obviously not going to do that because of copyright. But yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.